Hello, good afternoon everyone. Introduce myself, my name is Elsa Laura Maharani. Today I would like to make a presentation on food processing technology of carding tubers commodities include physical and chemical characteristics of carding tuber chips due to soaking time at various water flow rates. First of all, I'll give you a brief overview of carding tubers. Cutting tubers, one type of tubers, contain toxic compound in the form of HCN at 469 ppm. This high HCN compound in cutting tubers is very dangerous if consumed by human. Cutting tubers can be consumed by human with the right processing process using the soaking method, but it takes a long time. Therefore, a proper way of processing kadung is needed with a shorter time of continuous soaking using various water, discharge, and length of soaking time. Next, let's move on the topic of texting method. The first is tools and material. The tools used in the text are analytical scale, frying pan, pot, large bag, color reader, and scope. The material used in the text are cutting tubers, wood ash, water, salt, and distilled water. Then the process of making cutting tuber chips can be seen in Figure 1. The initial steps of making cutting tuber chips is done by preparing the cutting tubers. After the cutting tubers are ready, the tubers are peeled to remove the tuber peel. Then the peel cutting is cut with a thickness of about 3 mm to increase the surface area of the cutting tubers and facilitate the processing process. The cut cutting tubers are fermented using 800 grams of wood ash for every 600 kilograms. After the chips were coated with wood ash, the chips were allowed to sit for 12 hours to reduce the HCN content. After the chips have been left to rest, they are dried in the sun until they are dry. The chips were then soaked using clean water to reduce the HCN content. After soaking, we clean the chips with water to remove any potential dirt. Then, for every 2 kg of wet chips, 2.7 liters of water and 3 grams of salt are added and the chips are cooked for 4 to 5 minutes. The purpose of boiling the chips is to add flavor and improve the texture. After boiling, the chips are dried to make crispy chips. Now, move on to a very important slide, namely the result and discussion. The first is yield. The graph shows that the highest yield is found in the treatment of soaking with a short time and low flow, while the lowest yield is found in the treatment of soaking with a long time and highest flow. This happens because the longer soaking time with highest water flow discharge will increase the dissolved component in the soaking water, which makes damage to the cutting chips which causes a decrease in yield. The second is color brightness. The graph shows that the highest color brightness value of cutting chips is in the immersion treatment with long time and high flow, while the lowest color brightness in the immersion treatment with short time and low flow. This happens because the thread attached to the chips will be left as the soaking time lengthens. In addition, the high water flow discharge will help erode the dirt on the surface of the chips so that the color of the chips is brighter. Next, in an explanation of the chemical properties of the cutting chips analyzed within the HCN content, the graph shows that the longer to soaking time and the greater the water flow discharge will reduce the HCN content of cutting tuber chips caused by the HCN content in the slice of cutting tubers will be diffused out so as to reduce the HCN content of cutting tuber chips. The next slide is the last slide of the presentation, which is the conclusion. The conclusion of the research is that the length of soaking and water flow rate significantly affect the physical and chemical characteristics of the chips. Increasing soaking time and water flow discharge will reduce yield content of gadung chips but increase the brighter of the color of the chips. That's all the presentation for me. Thank you for your attention.